The message came while I was in the middle of brushing my teeth. A photo. Not of her, of a table, white linen, polished cutlery, morning sunlight spilling across champagne glasses. A reservation card placed neatly on a plate. My name wasn't on it. Hers was. And beside it, a second card, one I recognized in a way that made the back of my neck tighten. The handwriting was deliberate, feminine, almost playful. Her best friend's handwriting. Under it, a caption, "She's finally telling them the truth today." My stomach didn't drop, it tightened, slow, cold, controlled. There was a kind of stillness inside me, the kind that arrives right before a storm cracks open the sky. I rinsed my mouth, dried my hands, looked at my reflection, expressionless, the way I had trained myself to be when the world started making too much noise. Truth. A small word, heavy enough to break ribs. I didn't reply. I didn't call her. I just stood there, staring at the faint foam around the drain, and felt something subtle shift inside me, like the creak of a door opening in a dark hallway. Something was coming, something I had already suspected but never allowed myself to confirm. And then, as if the universe wanted to remove all doubt, her own message arrived. 5 words that sliced through the last remaining threads of denial I had been clinging to. Don't come to brunch today. No explanation, no apology, just instruction, distance, dismissal. I sat down slowly, phone still in my hand, pulse steady. Most people fall apart when their world starts cracking. Mine becomes clearer, sharper, colder. Something was wrong, and for the first time in months, I felt ready to see it. It had started 2 nights ago, her comment at dinner. She laughed too loudly, eyes sliding toward her friends as she said, "Stop introducing me as your wife. It makes me look like I settled." The table fell silent. She didn't. She kept smiling, swirling her wine like she hadn't just carved a line down my spine. I swallowed the words rising in my throat, not because I was afraid, but because I knew saying anything in that moment would be pointless. She wasn't talking to me. She was performing. For him. The man across the table, her coworker, the one she insisted was just friendly, the one she never mentioned until she started dressing differently, the one she angled her body toward when she thought I wasn't paying attention. She thought I didn't notice. She always thought I didn't notice. But betrayal is loud when you live quietly. It echoes. That night, while she slept beside me with her back turned, I stared at the ceiling and felt pieces clicking together. The late nights, the sudden phone privacy, the way she talked to me like I was an inconvenience, and the smallest detail of all, the way she didn't say goodnight anymore. So when she mocked me in front of others, something finally settled inside me like dust after a long, quiet collapse. "Good to know," I had said, not with anger, with understanding. 2 hours later, I removed my name from every loan, mortgage, shared liability she had quietly tied me to. All the financial weight she had placed on my shoulders, lifted with a signature. She didn't notice. She never noticed the things that mattered. And now, brunch. A truth. Her friends. Her performance. Her audience. Whatever she planned to reveal today wasn't meant for me, which meant it absolutely concerned me. And I was done pretending blindness. By morning, my suspicion had matured into clarity. I moved silently, methodically. Phone records, location history, bank statements. I didn't storm. I didn't confront. I studied. Patterns lit up like constellations in the dark. Late night calls, overlapping schedules, charges at places she told me she'd never been. Every detail was a whisper confirming what my instincts had screamed for weeks. Yet I felt calm, calmer than I should have been. It was the calm of someone who has stepped outside the emotional frame and is now observing from the cold space above it. I didn't look for love. I looked for truth. And the truth, once uncovered, has a way of revealing the architecture of a person, who they are when they think no one is watching. She wasn't just drifting, she was gone. Gone long before she said those 5 words that night. The truth she planned to reveal today was obvious. She wanted out. But she didn't want to be the villain. She wanted an audience to absolve her, and she expected me to silently play the role she assigned. I smiled, small, faint. She had no idea I had rewritten the script. At 11:07 a.m., she texted again, "Don't come. Seriously." Half an hour later, I walked into the brunch. The room stilled, not dramatically, but in that subtle way where conversations hiccup and glances sharpen. She turned, mid-laugh, and froze. Her friends shifted, sensing something invisible shaping the air. And there, at her seat, beside her reservation card, sat an envelope. Not mine, hers. The outcome of everything I had verified last night, printed clearly, neatly, undeniably. Financial independence reverted, loans transferred back, my name absent everywhere, a silent extraction. Her safety net gone. She reached for the envelope with trembling fingers. Reading, rereading, color draining from her face. Then she looked at me, her voice cracked. What is this?" I stayed silent. Sometimes silence is the most honest answer. She stumbled through her explanation, talking too fast, throwing glances at her friends as if they might rescue her narrative. "I was going to tell them we were taking space because of your financial situation. I wasn't trying to be cruel. I just needed freedom," I finished quietly. Her lips parted. No denial came. I leaned in just enough that she and only she could hear me. "You wanted to leave without consequences. Now you can, fully, cleanly. Everything in your name is yours alone." She blinked rapidly, realizing what that meant. No support, no shared burden, no fallback. Just her and her choices. For the first time in months, I watched her facade crack. Not from anger, but from fear. Not fear of me, fear of being seen as she truly was. Her friends looked at her, confused, questioning, whispering to each other. She knew they were rewriting their opinions in real time. She had lost the audience, the performance, the control, and I hadn't raised my voice once. I walked out before she could speak again. The sunlight outside felt sharper than usual, cleaner, like the air after rainfall. There was no triumph in me, no sorrow either, just clarity. Her betrayal didn't destroy me, it released me. For months, I had been carrying a weight she pretended didn't exist. Now she carried it alone, and for the first time, she understood its heaviness. As I stepped off the curb, my phone buzzed, her name lighting up the screen over and over. I let it ring. People don't usually suffocate because the world collapses. They suffocate when the mask they built finally cracks. My final thought as I walked away, she wanted freedom. She just never expected me to give it to her.